We had trusted the Lord for everything, and we were safe in Gonawala village with Gonawala Sunil next door. How many of you know Gonawala Sunil? He was the worst criminal of that time. He had abducted the daughter of Dr. Paul, and that's how he got infamous. And in Colombo, I felt so lonely and so afraid because I lost my raincoat. You understand fear? For some weeks, I did not know whether the Lord was protecting me or not, because we totally trusted the Lord for protection. You understand how vulnerable you can feel? Then at such times, whom do you remember? Jesus, who gave his life on the cross for us, near naked. You understand vulnerability? And Hebrews 5:8 says, because of strong crying and trusting the Father, he overcame fear. Even Jesus was touched by fear. So he's touched by our infirmities. He was touched by mistrust, but he didn't sin. He overcame it. Do you understand Jesus? You understand how every part of Jesus' life defends us, covers us, substitutes for us, and we come through what we go through because what he has gone through. Will you give a hand clap for Jesus and the cross? Jesus and the cross. Yes. We have a treasure in us, the love of God. Out of love, God created the massive wealthy world. Love is a great, great investment, but somewhere down the line, a default came into our hearts and a fear track also came in. You remember the Garden of Eden? He came as he comes every day in the cool of the middle of the day, the best part of the day, in the breath of the Holy Spirit, the Father came. That day they had been violated inside and they got fearful because Satan has suggested to them, you didn't get all he should have given you as a father. And they believed the lie. They believed the lie. And as they believed the lie, trust went. When trust goes, what comes? Fear comes. When light goes, what comes? God didn't create darkness. God created light. But when light departs, what comes? Darkness. When light diminishes a little, little darkness. Light diminishes some more darkness. Light, complete darkness. Same with love. Love diminishes a little, what comes? Fear. That's why children need hugging all the time. Do you understand? Children need hugging all the time. Hugging is a wonderful way of children being kept love. That hug of love promotes and develops the love tract in the brain. Scientists have discovered there are only two basic emotions, love and fear. Over the past 15 years, a lot of scientific research has gone into the brain and science of thought because they have researched all physical diseases to the ruddy end and they can't develop any more drugs. Do you know that? Science can't develop any more drugs and we are helpless again with antibiotic resistance. We are helpless again with tuberculosis bacillus. It's running rampant because of HIV. So they began to research into brain for different motives and they found many things wonderful about the brain. One, brain has 45,000 neurons. Heart also has 45,000 neurons. So we think with the brain and we calibrate with the heart. Is it right what I thought? That old-fashioned conscience, that is true. So scientists and researchers are writing about the heart brain. Will you say it with me? Heart brain. Brain in the heart. It's true. Tap your neighbor and say, it's true. A brain in the heart, which we said is the conscience. But when Darwin came, science came, secular humanism came, conscience went off. But there's really a heart in the brain. And when you are thinking here, it is relayed here. So we say, from the bottom of my heart, I love you. It is still true. I feel for you from the bottom of my heart. It is scientifically true. Because all what we are thinking here is getting relayed here, and this says that is not right. It is true. Now, here is another story. What am I on? The love track and the fear track. What I am developing is trying to get us to think today, and there was a wonderful worship song today, just right. So just as I'm finishing the message, I'll call you again, break the chains. Say with me, break the chains. Thank you for that excellent song. Music was wonderful. Song was wonderful. The concept was excellent. And it was the song for the day that you had picked up. What's my point at the moment? Will you say it me? Love track and the brain track and the fear track. Repeat it. Love track and the fear track. When we come from home to get to church, we have two possible roads to take. One is through Obesekarapura. Now, I don't know whether you know Obesekarapura as we know. It used to be a very violent area. When we first came here, there were 3 gangs, Gautami Road, Vanathamulla, and Obesekarapura. They had constant warfare and murders. So, I always travel on this Obesekarapura road because I told myself, I'll pray for those people, and you get huge number of voters there. Lots of houses, all, little shacks. Then we have a nice road to travel on through Rajagiriya Junction. It's a nice road. Road is nice. Houses are nice. People are nice. At present, one particular housing company is constructing some 2 beautiful luxury apartments. It's one of the best areas to live. God gave us this wonderful house and this wonderful road. So Hiranti has told me, when you are going with me, please go on the nice road. Now, I come to church many more times than when I go with her. So often, not infrequently, as I come on top of the Murugasmulla junction, unthinkingly, which track, by the way, Obesekarapura track needs a certain kind of driving. How many of you know that kind of driving? You have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do that. And there's a certain thrill, I must confess it's not a holy thrill, to get through tick, 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 then down that road and down this road and tick, 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 like that. So Hiranti has told me, when you are going with me, please don't go on there. But then I come to the mountaintop, and then unthinkingly, what do? I take the Obesekarapura tract. Same with love and fear. Say with me, 2 tracks. Tonight or tomorrow morning, when you have to interact with your spouse, with your child, with your work, with the driver on the road, other drivers on the road, just keep this check. When did I move on to the fear track? Generally we leave home having kissed our children. Some have grandchildren to kiss. And we generally leave home in the best of spirits, correct? Isn't it? We leave home very happily. Then at some point, the fear track begins. Maybe you're thinking of the workplace, which is not a joke. If workplace is stressful, it comes to your mind. And Renga just testified, when there's a real pressurizing thing like that, every day going to work, you can feel as if going to slaughter. Then as you're getting into the car, you remember in 15 minutes, 30 minutes, you're in the workplace. Fear is already working out. And all the juices in the brain changes. When you take the love track, a different set of juices, meaning neurochemical transmitters. Without saying that long thing, I will say juices. Different set of juices. You feel happy. Then you are energized by that thing that makes you energetic in love, which is called dopamine. Then you feel very nice that you did it. You get that feeling? When you bring something very nice to your wife, you were thinking of it to bring it for her birthday, and you were energized and you had great energy to do it. And after you gave it, you feel very, very nice about it. You feel very nice about it. Different set of things that happen. Then comes the fear track, completely different. But thank God for Jesus. God has not given to us a spirit of, will you say with me, 2 Timothy 1:7, it's on a slide. God has not given to us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind. Will you repeat it? God, say it, okay. Yeah. I'll also say it with me. God has not given to me a spirit of fear, but of love and of power and a sound mind. What does it mean? When fear comes in, power departs. Power in the spirit. Write it down. Power in the spirit. Love energizes you with power in the spirit. Your spirit is strong. So, love doeth good like a medicine. Laughter doeth good like a medicine. Your spirit is strong. Love makes your spirit strong. There's power in the spirit. And the Holy Spirit gives love in the heart. What's the third one? Soundness in the mind. That's the spiritual solution. Power in the spirit. Will you say it with me? Power in the spirit, love in the heart, soundness in the mind. This is the ministry of the Holy Spirit. Of course, in our natural relationships, God-given natural relationships, human spirit is strengthened, human heart is comforted, and relating to each other gives us a sound, healthy mind. So when fear comes, you withdraw, you coil up, you don't want anyone, you don't allow anyone to touch your insides, and there may be insides in your heart that have long remained like that. Another allegory I can draw is, love is like a tree. It's a story of two trees in the brain. Just like the story of two trees in the garden. So there was the tree of life, love and light. And there was this tree of good and evil, out of which Eve ate, and there came mistrust and fear, shame and hiding. These two trees go on in your brain. Do you know that? These two trees. Love, trust, life, light. Fear, mistrust, darkness, hiding. Both trees are available. Which tree did you feed this morning? So at service time, we do our best to feed the tree of life. Old story is not old story. It's happening all the time. So we come together that we might be fed, and that tree of life, tree of love, that love track gets energized, stimulated. That's what a service time does, that we go out into the world, hopefully every day, renewing ourselves in the love of God. That's what worship does. Worship is not a time to judge whether the worship team is doing well. Worship is time for you to sink and immerse yourself into the love of God. Now when Jesus came into our heart, you see, when we are born again, we are 51% spirit, 49% flesh. We have passed. 51% is past. At least at university level, 51% is past. Born again, we are past. That is the good measure. Will you say it me? Good measure. Now, did you read 45, 635, 36, 38, give and it will be given to you. So this measure we got, we open our heart and we give back. Give, it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together. Why pressed down and shaken. What happens when you are pressed and shaken?